Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Healthy Cooking with Shayda. This is where I teach you how to make simple, healthy, delicious meals that are salt, oil, and sugar-free. Per your request, today we are making falafels. And also with that, we are going to make a lemon tahini sauce that's going to be on top of it. So in order to get started, I should let you know that the recipe will be on my website at healthycookingwithshayda.com. But if you don't have access to that right now, you can follow me along and we'll get started. So we're going to start out with a pound of dried chickpeas, garbanzo beans. And you want to use the dried garbanzo beans. You don't want to use canned for this recipe. Now, I know a lot of you guys want to use canned and it's a lot easier, but I'm telling you, this is much tastier when you're using fresh garbanzo beans. What you're going to do with the garbanzo beans, it's going to be about 2 cups, right? So you're going to take it and you're going to soak it in water for 24 hours. Now, with that, you're going to add a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Let me just make sure. Yes, baking soda. So for the first 8 hours, go ahead and mix it. The next 8 hours, I want you to change the water, but I don't want you adding more baking soda to it, okay? Just keep rinsing it. And then at the third 8 hours, then you're going to keep rinsing that again. By that point, look how big these have swelled up. And if you see that the skin is coming off, that's okay. Take the skin off. There's no need for the skin. But honestly, guys, you guys don't miss this step. This is one of the most important steps, okay? Now, we're going to take this and we're going to put it in the food processor. Now, as you can see, it's filled up much of my food processor. And I have a pretty big food processor. I've got the Breville Sous Chef, which is about a 16 cup, I'm sorry. So what we're going to do is we're going to pulse this down a little bit so that once I add everything else that's going to go in here, it's going to be a lot easier. So. Just make sure you don't do this to a paste, because that's the last thing you want to do. Okay. Now, it doesn't go down all the way, but it does some. Next, we're going to add the herbs in here. Now, we are going to add parsley, cilantro, and dill. All of that needs to be fresh, okay? Now, what I do ahead of time is I go ahead and I chop up the parsley, the dill, and the cilantro because I don't want it to put it whole. Sometimes when you're trying to mix it in here, the big pieces don't get cut up. So I've found that if you chop it up ahead of time and then you go ahead and put it in here, things come out a little bit better. So we are going to add that in here. Then we're going to add the cilantro. And this is why the falafels are green. It's because of all the herbs that you guys are going to be putting in here. And we're going to add the dill. Now, I cheat a little bit and I take my spoon and I try to mix everything a little bit ahead of time. So that way the herbs can get to the bottom of it. You don't have to do this part, but I find that it helps. Because now we still have to add the onions and we still have to add the garlic, and there's a few more things that we are still going to have to add to this. So again, we are going to pulse. We don't want to turn it on too fast because I don't want it to come like a paste. Okay. So now we're going to add, see how it's starting to mix? This smells really good even without everything else that's supposed to be in here. Next, we're going to add 1 small red onion that I've chopped up. Now, if you want to use white onion, you can. If you want to use yellow onion, you can. If you want to use any onion you can. I just preferred the red, and we are going to add fresh garlic that has been minced already. So let's go ahead and add it. Just don't spill like I've been doing lately. And again, I have gone ahead and chopped up the garlic and the onions pretty fine so that it'll make it easier when it's in the food processor. So let's mix this up a little bit. You really do need a big food processor for this, but you could do it in double batches, which is going to be completely okay to do. Now, let's go ahead and blend this up. Pulse it again. Okay. And now we are going to add our spices. So, what's going to be our spice? We're going to add one of my favorites, smoked paprika. So where's my measuring spoons? So we're going to add that. And we're also going to add coriander. Well, before I add the coriander, I'm going to add the cumin. So now we're going to add the cumin, which I am putting about 4 tablespoons of cumin in here. And that's because I absolutely love cumin. So if you're not a huge fan of cumin, then maybe you might want to put 2 or 3 in here. Completely up to you. We're also going to add coriander in here. And we are also going to add some cayenne pepper in here. And I think, what else? Oh yeah, black pepper. And we're also going to add some cardamom. So let's put some black pepper in here. And really, the black pepper is to taste. And then the cardamom, there's 2 ways of buying this. You can buy it already in a flour, in a powder form, or you could buy the seeds. Now, I all along have been using the powder, but my aunt was telling me to try the seeds, and she is absolutely right. Today, I did the seeds, and I grinded it up into a powder myself, and oh my God, it smells like heaven in here. It smells, whoa, it's strong. I'm telling you, it's really, really strong, but it smells so good. So you might want to try it. If you're not using the seeds, if you're not grinding up the seeds yourself, you may want to try it because it really, really makes a huge difference. Then let's just get all this in here. All right, now we are ready to really pulse this. Okay. And we're going to open it up because we're also going to add the lemon juice to this. Just make sure when you open it that you're not going to spill anything. Oh, I wish you guys were here to smell this because it really does smell good. Okay, let's add some fresh lemon juice. Oh, I'm sorry, not lemon juice, lime. I keep saying lemon, and I'm typically using lime, so my apologies, guys. Let's go ahead and add this in here. up. Just make sure it goes back down. Sometimes it has a tendency to stay on top, and that's not what you want. You're not going to be able to mix it really well. There you go. So you want this to be a little dry, and it's going to be a little bit flaky. It's not going to be so mushy that you can, you can make into a ball, but it will hold its shape. So let's do it a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to dump all this back into our bowl. Now that you have all your ingredients into this bowl, you've got the garbanzo beans, everything in here. Now we're going to add some chickpea flour to it. Now, if you don't have chickpea flour, you can add oat flour, whatever you want. But I think the chickpea would go better because this is all chickpea. So we're going to add chickpea flour to this. A couple of tablespoons of chickpea. We are also going to add baking powder because I wanted to fluff up just a little bit. So we're going to add that to it. Now something I think that's kind of fun to add, most falafels don't really have it, is toasted sesame seeds. And I just think it adds a little flavor, it adds a little something, it just looks pretty in there. I like it, so guess what? We're going to add it. So I've gone ahead and toasted some sesame seeds, and we're going to add that in here. And that's it. Now for this next part, you're going to want gloves on because I want you to go in with your hands and really, really mix this. There's nothing like mixing with your hands. When you try to mix it with a spoon, it just doesn't get in there. So we're just going to get in and mix. So now that you've mixed everything, you need to let this sit in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Better yet, it would be better to leave it overnight because it's going to help to, make it so that we can make little nice patties out of it. So make sure that if you don't have time to do it overnight, make sure that you at least put it in the refrigerator for an hour. So we're now going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator for about an hour, and then we'll be back to show you what we do with the rest of it. Okay guys, so we're back, and the falafels have been sitting in the refrigerator for about an hour now, and now we're ready to make them into little balls. And I've got my 1.5 inch ice cream scooper that's going to help me to do that. So we're just going to go in, grab it, click it, and then you're just going to squeeze it in your hand, form that ball. This will be a little flaky, but that's okay. It'll be completely okay as you're baking it. And falafel balls are not really big. They're pretty much like a bite-sized ball. So don't make these too big because you're going to want them to be, either in your pita bread, or you're going to want them on top of your salad. But I guess if you wanted to make them like a burger, you could, although that's not really a falafel. So we're just going to continue along here, and we're going to make these. In the meantime, our oven is warming up to 425 degrees. This will be in there for 25 minutes, and it sure as heck beats frying these guys, right? So here we go. We'll continue to make these until we finish them. Okay, so we've made the balls. There's probably, I think we counted, and we have about 53. So that's quite a bit. Now remember, when you're making these, they are going to be a little bit flaky, and that's what you want. But when you put it in your hand, just kind of squeeze it a little bit and let it shape its little, make it into that ball that you want. Now we're going to put these in the oven for 25 minutes at 425. And in the meantime, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to make the lemon tahini sauce that we're going to drizzle all over on top of this. It's absolutely delicious. Okay guys, our falafels are in the oven, they're baking, and in the meantime, I'm going to teach you how to make the lemon tahini sauce that we're going to drizzle on top of this. This does have a little more on the lemon side, so if you're not a fan of, actually it's not lemon, it's lime. So if you're not, if it bothers you to have too much lime in there, so go ahead and cut it back. You can add just more water. What we're going to start with is a cup of toasted sesame seeds. I like using sesame seeds that I can toast myself instead of buying the tahini from the market. It just gives it a much better flavor. It's easier and it's just good. So we're going to put that in the Vitamix. Then we are going to add about a cup of water. We are going to add 1 garlic clove to this. And we are also going to add some fresh lime juice. This recipe is super, super easy to make. And honestly, it's not just for falafels. You can put this on you can use it as a dressing for your salads as well. It's absolutely delicious. You can put it on your baked potatoes. You can put it on your steamed vegetables. Just there's so many different uses that you can do for this. And then you're just going to put the lid on. And then you're going to blend this until it's smooth. So we're probably going to speed this up ahead because I don't, the noise level for you guys. And here we go. So after it's been blending for about 2 or 3 minutes, you want to open it up. You want to make sure that the seeds have all blended, and then you want to open it up and taste it to see if there's any adjustments that you want to make. You don't want this really thick. If you want it as a thick paste, go ahead and cut back on the water. But you want it kind of like a dressing. So you can just drizzle it all on top. So this looks about good. This may need a little bit more blending from what I can see. Oh my goodness, it smells really good. So let's blend this up just a little bit more. So it may be more like 3 to 5 minutes of the blending time, but you'll figure it out. And like I said, if it's too runny, cut back on the water or the lemon. If it's too thick, go ahead and add a little bit more. Okay, so let's open this back up. Like I said, you want this to be smooth. Now, this tastes better once it's been refrigerated and it's on the cooler, because with the Vitamix, it sometimes tends to make things hot. This is about the consistency I like. I like it to be a little bit runny because I want it to have it, slattered all over the place. And I just want it to be smooth. This will not really thicken up much once you put it in the refrigerator. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, see, look at the consistency. That's what you want. And this is so, so good. So once our falafels are ready, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for it to cool a little bit. Once everything's ready, I'm going to show you how we put it all together with the salad that I've made already. I've already done a video. It's my cucumber and tomato salad. And we're going to put all of that together for you guys and show you the final product. Okay, so our falafels are ready. They've been baking. So now all I'm doing is I'm taking them. Once I took them out, I let them sit on the counter for about a minute or two. And now I'm just going to take them off and putting them on a cooling rack. Okay, so the falafels are ready. They're a little bit warm, which is great. Now, the falafels generally tend to be a little bit on the dry side. Even when they fry them, they are much more on the drier side, and that's why they put the cucumber and tomato salad with it, the tahini dressing with it, a lot of other stuff that you can add to it just to make it a little bit more manageable to eat. So you're going to there's 2 ways of eating this. Growing up, I used to go to Israel a lot with my mom, and her cousins would always take me to the falafel places because I absolutely loved falafels. So the way I'm used to eating them is in a whole wheat tortilla, or pita bread, I should say. And what we do is we take, here's the salad that I've made, which is the cucumber tomato salad, and you guys have that. The recipe is on my website, and you've got a video on how I made this salad. So please go look for it, and I'll put a link to the video in the show notes for you guys. So all you're going to do is you're going to take the salad, you're going to stuff it, you're going to put it in here, you're going to open this up, and you're going to have to try to be careful that, you know, the pita bread doesn't rip down the middle. Sometimes it has a tendency to do that. And then you're going to take your falafel, about 3 of them typically, put that in here, add a little bit more of the salad to it, and then you're going to add the tahini sauce. And look, it's already thickened up just a little bit by it being in the refrigerator. So then you're just going to drizzle it and put as much as you want. I think personally, the more that's in there, the tastier it gets. And that's it. So that's your falafel sandwich. Now you can go ahead and also make this into a salad, where you can just make a big, beautiful salad and put your falafels on top. Actually, you could make it with this salad. You could put this, make this, you know, as your main meal, put the falafels on top, and then go ahead and add your tahini dressing on top of it. And that's really about it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed watching another episode of Healthy Cooking with Shayda. And it's been fun. I hope you guys make the falafels. These are very, very close to, I try to make it as authentic as possible. And I think from the reactions that my friends and family that have tasted my falafels, they say that I've come pretty darn close to it. And I really hope that you guys will make this. Again, remember, it's one bite at a time, one meal at a time. And I hope that I will see you soon. So take care and have a good night. Bye, guys.